Includes providing farmers information on how the commodity markets close each day and week. I'm Todd Gleason from Illinois Public Media, University of Illinois Extension, inviting you to hear the daily closing market report weekday afternoons at 5:06, and on Saturdays tune in for Commodity Week with a review of the week's markets at 8:30 in the morning, all on WHOW AM, FM, and streamed online.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today, Stephanie Coonce, Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services. Good morning, Stephanie. Good to see you.
Good morning, Seth.
Thanks for coming out and talking with us. And I caught up with you at Apple and Pork Festival and a couple of developments out of Apple and Pork. The first is, let's go with the positive first.
Sure.
Construction is underway on some things in your warehouse. What's going on?
It's fantastic. We are actually building the first phase of the firewalls that have to go into the warehouse. There are 2 firewalls that have to go into the warehouse from our fire marshal things back in the back. We've talked about that before. So the first firewall at the back that will separate basically all the mechanicals, all of the lawn maintenance equipment, that big old baler that used to sit in the front of the warehouse moved back. That was quite a thing. Moving that back to the very back behind what's going to be the firewall. So that's all started, and it's very exciting.
Is the flooring of the warehouse, is it like a sturdy, like baseboards and all that, or is it just dirt and rock?
It's concrete.
It's concrete. Okay.
It's concrete. And it is because it was that cattle barn back in the day. There are places where they had posts and poles, so those are marked. We filled some in. So it is a concrete floor.
Sure. Well, remind us of the journey here, and kind of where the cost of this aspect and what's still yet to come. How about some of those things?
So started 3+ years ago with the fire marshal inspection, which it grew and brought a whole lot of fire marshals into our building. And they didn't like our old cattle auction house because it had been, grandfathered in, or there wasn't. So then they came in and came back with a list of things for us to do. And we then had to hire an architect, got them involved. The fire marshal got them to agree on a plan to build these firewalls, 2 firewalls, and a lot more exits and lighting into the warehouse, and a new alarm system also. That was the first thing that we accomplished back in 23
maybe
23. So then took a long time to get that plan in place. So it's in place. Fundraising, trying to find a contractor, found a contractor this last summer, and started the construction here in September.
What's been the biggest battle along the way? Has it been fundraising? Has it been contractors? Has it been working with the state of Illinois? What's been the biggest battle?
Gosh, I mean, it was trying to get the plan approved, and then battling with and I completely understand the safety aspect, but the state fire marshal, they are very particular, let's say, with how and legitimately it is people's lives that we're talking about. So I understand that, but it is sometimes, even with the contractors now, there's been a specific element of the firewall that they want a certain way, but that's not a thing too much down here in central Illinois any longer. So finding this certain kind of insulation to go at the very top of the roof is becoming an issue.
I see.
So
yeah. Well, this particular aspect is underway. What's the cost of this aspect? And
so this aspect, the firewall itself is about $222,000.
Okay.
And then, so that's great. But then when we started building the firewall and we started moving things away and to attach it, to the sides of the warehouse, we discovered on the west wall of the warehouse that we had some serious problems. The concrete that was in very bad shape. It was all cracked, and thus also it was basically because the water coming off of the edge of the warehouse without any kind of guttering system, and going under the concrete, and then also that rotted away the support poles. So those support poles, I mean, you could just touch them
And they'd fall over.
and they'd move.
Oh boy.
So it was very scary when we discovered how bad that was, and things were moved. And actually, at some point in time, someone had put another support pole onto them, in front of them. So that's what I was like, okay, we're good. No, those support poles weren't fastened to anything at the bottom. So then those also would move. So that entire, it's 191 feet of that warehouse wall.
Oh, wow.
All had to come out. It had to be, they had poor footings, all of, a big section of the concrete. I can't remember how many feet now, but a large section of that concrete, till it got to a stable place in the concrete, had to all be torn out, the roof supported, and then go back and, pour footings and walls, and then new supports and new walls all went in, all had to be completely replaced. And I'll tell you, it's beautiful now. The roof line is so straight.
Did you ever get to a point in all of this where you're like, let me just find somewhere else that I can rent? We can.
Absolutely. It's been a whole thing. And we've looked at that. We've talked about it. And there's really not much in DeWitt County that we could rent or purchase. And also the cost of building another building is astronomical.
Not even comparable.
I looked, and it would be like $11 million for us to build something slightly comparable.
Yeah. Even to the basics, bare bones. Yeah.
The bare bones. Yes.
Not even close to comparable.
No.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Sure. Fundraising. How has fundraising gone?
Fundraising has been, slower. And people it's hard right now. I'm reaching out also to, other, local businesses and things, have some of those things in the works still. I'm writing grants. I did get a great grant this fall from probably like in August, from an anonymous donor, as a result of some of the grant writing that I have done over the last 3 years. And so for $50,000. So that was really nice and helped fund a lot. But a lot of it is what we're getting is real grassroots, people sending in what they can, which are donating when they come into the store, which is hugely appreciated. And we need just a lot more of that.
Yeah. Stephanie Coonce is the executive director of Encore Developmental Services, our guest in studio this morning. Also a development we talked about at the Apple and Pork Festival, where you were set up that weekend, was more along the lines of the project, having to double the budget because of more discoveries. Exactly. Tell us about that.
Yeah, exactly. So that west wall, the warehouse, basically did double, like almost exactly doubled the budget. So it went from 222,000 and change to 446 and change for that one phase. But that wall completely had to be done in order for the next phase, for the front firewall that has to go in to get completed. So it was necessary for safety of everyone. I mean, I was back there at one point, this last year, doing some things with one of the walls, with totally unsuspecting that roof could have collapsed on us at any time.
This is a really dumb question. What's a firewall?
Okay, it is in our case, it's giant because it goes across the entire back of the warehouse. So it goes from end to end. It goes all the way to the top. It does not have to, this one, it's actually not a firewall technically. Okay. It's a term we've been using. It's a fire partition, because ours does not breach the roof. It just goes to the roof line of the warehouse. It has special insulation in, especially it's metal. Ours is, most of the studs are metal, except for at the very top along the rafters. And up there has to be a special kind of damp cellulose. I'm not totally sure on that insulation. And then it is 2 layers of the thickest drywall. So it's 2 layers of 5/8. So it's 2 layers of 5/8 drywall all the way up, and doors are secure and fire rated
Mhm.
for at least 2 hours.
Mhm.
There's also in this wall to the back, because we have a forklift that goes back and forth and around. There is a roll-up door that will also be connected to the alarm system
Oh, cool.
and will go down
Mhm.
automatically.
Nice. But that's
So-
not in yet.
That's not in yet. No,
Yeah,
just
that's
because
probably
we've been waiting on that's coming pretty
Mhm,
soon here.
mhm.
We've been waiting to get the west wall completed so they could tie in because they couldn't finish the wall.
Yeah.
So they had to wait for that west wall to get finished. And then also on the east side, they didn't do an entire new footing and foundation kind of thing. They did more like post supports, like post holes dug down.
Mhm.
There was a little mistake with that, so they had to come back and redo some concrete.
Mhm.
So construction.
Yeah.
So that's going on the east. And then
Goodness.
also on the east side is a new maintenance shop, because we had to move all of that, those kind of things behind the firewall. So
Yeah.
that's going in
Okay.
on the east side too.
Like a total renovation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And it will be by the time it's all done.
Yeah. Also will be close to $1 million. However,
Right.
you told me before we got started, I don't think we've talked about this, whether it was at Apple and Pork or on the morning show yet. You kind of have a firm deadline now from the fire marshal's office.
Right. Yeah. It will probably be by the time, $1 million just for these walls and what will come with them.
Mhm.
That doesn't include like roof or anything like that. That is
Mhm.
also needed. But
Mhm.
yes, now the DHS changed their deadline. You used to be able to just work on these things. They give every 6 months you get an extension.
Mhm.
But now they said, starting in this fiscal year, that you only had 3 extensions, which are 6 months. So we have
Mhm.
18 months from when mine is. It's due in November, so I should be getting my next 6-month extension now,
Mhm.
and this month, and then I will have 3 more. So we have until about May of 27
Mhm.
to complete all of these mitigations.
Okay. Yeah. So up against the clock a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, given how long it took to get here, that's coming up fast.
Right. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, how do you feel about that? I mean, what's,
Um,
do you have a plan of action and all those things?
We have somewhat of a plan of action, working on still raising more funds because
Sure.
because of the necessity of putting in that other firewall that doubled the budget
Mhm.
for the back face. So that eats into the front firewall that has to be put in at the front of the warehouse.
Mhm.
So that took away that funding.
Mhm.
So it's about $500,000 for what we're working on now,
Mhm.
which takes us down to, just just some emergency funds that I have, stash away, because also we have, everything that's going on with the government
Mhm.
and Medicaid, and we are Medicaid waiver funded, fee for service.
So what's that mean?
So that means that's how we're funded. That's how we get when people come into my building as clients for our community day services program, I bill them monthly
Mhm.
a rate for how many hours I'm only allowed to bill for 5 hours a
Mhm.
day
Mhm.
per person.
Mhm.
And so then that is how we get our funding, is through the Medicaid waiver program.
Mhm.
The Medicaid waiver program could be up for whatever interpretation of the new bill that's out there.
Oh, interesting.
It's not like Medicaid. We're Medicaid waiver, so we're an
Yeah.
add-on
Yeah.
that is up for.
Oh, okay.
Could be
renewed, could be not renewed.
Could be changed. Could
Or
be
changed. Yeah.
amounts that are funded could be
Uh-huh.
changed. So that would affect how much we bring in.
Where does most of you
So-
what's the breakdown of your revenue? Is it state? It's federal?
It's some Medicaid waiver.
Yeah.
So that is the most of our revenue. I'd
Okay.
say 80% of our revenue.
Oh, really? So it's a
comes
federal
through the Medicaid waiver, which is through the state, but funded through federal.
Yeah. Okay. I see. I
That
got
whole
you. Yes.
complicated
Yes.
thing
Uh-huh.
there.
Yeah. State gets the money, they distribute
State
it back
gets
to
the
you.
money. Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
State matches whatever their matching is.
Okay.
I believe. And then also the rest of our revenue comes from our thrift store revenues, our landscape program, and donations.
No local
grants.
tax money then.
We have a grant through the
708 board.
708 board.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I wondered
That's our
about that.
largest grant is through the 708 board.
Got it.
Yeah.
Goodness. Yeah. So that federal
Lots of-
situation you're keeping an eye on then
Yes,
pretty
Yeah.
closely.
So far it hasn't hit us, but
Never
you
know.
never know.
Yeah.
It's, we're, in that realm. They haven't said per se.
Uh-huh.
I did, but who knows?
Yeah. Goodness. A lot going on in your
Yes.
world right now.
Yes, there is.
Holy cow.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've gone way over time here, Stephanie. Let's
Sorry.
take a break. No, you're fine. Let's take a break. How do folks learn more about all things Encore Developmental Services?
They can go to our Facebook page, Encore Services or Encore Thrift Store, or go to www.encoreservices.com.
Stephanie Coonce, Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services, in studio with us. More to come on the morning show.
WHOW.
Shane Steinberg here from Highway 51 Exchange, your equipment rental headquarters, south of Clinton on US 51. Check our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com to book online today and pick up tomorrow. Highway 51 Exchange.
If you're tired of worrying about home maintenance and stairs, at Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth, you don't have to. Enjoy independent living duplexes that are half the cost of traditional independent living options. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Are you tired of worrying about home maintenance and stairs? At Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth, you don't have to. Enjoy independent living with no stairs, private duplexes with attached garage that are accessible and worry-free maintenance, so you can finally do what you want to do. Simplify your life on a safe private campus for adults 55 and better. And here's the best part. It's half the cost of traditional independent living options. Hickory Point Garden Homes in Forsyth. Independent living done right. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
There's a reason WHOW is the Big 1520 across central Illinois. That's because anytime the sun is up, you can hear WHOW's big signal from Jacksonville to Peoria, from Pontiac to the Indiana state line, and to Charleston and Effingham. Anywhere you travel in central Illinois, take WHOW, the Big 1520, with you in your car, truck, or tractor. Just another reason why WHOW is Central Illinois' news, agriculture, and talk station.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Stephanie Coonce, Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services, in studio with us today. Stephanie, let's dive into, I know you're looking for some staffing. What are you looking for right now?
I am looking for a qualified intellectual disabilities professional. That's like a case manager. Also in our agency, that position is also our director of services position. So it is, one of our lead management team people that helps determines what goes on with the programming with our clients, and our helping with our direct support. It's supervising all the direct support professionals, and organizing what goes on with the people that we serve.
Yeah. How creative do you have to get, given your limited budget and, all of those things? How creative do you have to get with your staffing situation?
Sometimes it can be, and it's difficult to find some of these kind of folks. We're kind of maybe a little more rare in the world than there's some specific qualifications for people. I'm actually a QIDP also. That was how I started in the program, was working in that position back 14 years ago. Sometimes you have to creative to find people, to and to attract them, because it's a kind of competitive market, because a lot of the other providers, all are needing those positions filled.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of stability in your staffing?
We do. Yeah. My current director of services is actually not leaving. She's just going to part-time, and has been with us she's been in and out. She started actually as a direct support professional. She was my very first hire 14 years ago. And then she left for reasons and got her degree. It's a degreed position. And the position also that requires some experience with working with people with disabilities. And then she's back with us. So probably for the last 8 years, I want to say.
Yeah.
So we're pretty stable. So
good. Yeah. How many
good.
staff do you have out there?
Totally, right now we have 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it all full-time, or is it a mix?
No, it's a mix of part-time and full-time. Yeah, we have probably 6-7 people that are full-time at the point, and the rest are part-time.
Yeah. And I know we've talked in the past about the challenges of paying, a competitive wage. Even you were just talking about the competitive wage scale that a lot of these individuals are probably seeking, right?
Right.
So,
Yes, they are. So hopefully, I think my rate is competitive. Right now, we're able to, fix up the budget to make it work. So competitive. Our insurance is great. We're a great place to work. Also, a lot of one thing that we have going for us, a lot of the providers are 24/7 residential. So you're responsible for your people 24/7. We are just day services. So you have your weekends free. You're not responsible for anybody. You have nights free. It's a.
Do a lot of your clients and residents have like support away from Encore, whether it's a family or
most everyone has other kind of supports. They either live in a residential program. So we have actually right now we have 3 different residential programs that come into our program, 2 that are in DeWitt County. And then also there are people that live with their families. There are people that live on their own and have other kind of supports out there also.
About 10-15 seconds, Stephanie. Highlight quick raffle you're doing.
Yeah, we're doing a raffle for an EV14 mobility scooter. So not a raffle, it's a silent auction.
I'm sorry.
Come to Encore and check it out and sign up. You can call.
What's your number?
217-935-2218.
And the website, or how do the folks find you?
They can find us on Facebook at Encore Services.
Very good. Stephanie Coonce, Encore Developmental Services, our guest. Network News is now.